Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel of The Lean Programmer. And as you are already aware, we have recently started talking about AI agents and automation workflows using N8N. And in today's video, I'm going to cover an important topic, which is going to be how to use N8N 100% for free. So stick to the end of this video, and you're going to learn a lot. And this is going to be a quick video. This is going to be a very quick video. So N8N is basically an it's one of the best tools that you can use for automation out there. But a lot of people come to me saying that, hey, N8N is paid, N8N is not free. So how can we use it for free if we are just learning? So in this video, I'm going to cover two ways on how can you use N8N 100% for free. So if you haven't already, just go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/the lean programmer, and hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up on this video, and so that you can get more videos like this on my YouTube channel. Yes. So let me quickly move my video to the side so that it doesn't interfere with the screen. And let's get started with the video very quickly. Let me close the YouTube channel browser. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, today I'm going to tell you two ways on how you can use N8N locally. I'll give you a very quick introduction on what is N8N before we get started. It's going to be of just 2 minutes, only 2 minutes. So if you already know what is N8N, just quickly skip the next 2 minutes so that you can save your time. So very quickly, I'll not go too much into the technical details, but very quickly I'll give you an introduction to N8N. If you want to learn more, you can go to my channel and see more videos. But for a quick introduction, what is N8N? N8N is basically a tool that allows you to create automation workflows. What are automation workflows? The answer is very simple. Automation workflow is basically an automated step-by-step process that you can use to kind of automate the manual things that you do. A very layman term example, right? So let me give you a very quick example. Let's say I wake up every morning, and as soon as I get up, the number one thing that I do is open my Outlook or email. Number two, I check I read all the emails. Number three, I find out which of those emails are important. And number four, I reply to only those important emails. Now, this whole process can be automated very easily using N8N in 4 steps once again. So first of all, you create a workflow that gets triggered every morning, let's say at 10 a.m. Okay, that was the first step. Second step is you connect it to your Google, Gmail or Outlook or any other email client. Second step. Third step is you get all the emails, and then you you pass it to an AI agent connected to an A10, and that AI agent will figure out which of those emails are the important ones. And number four, the AI agent will draft the reply for all the important emails. So this is how you can quickly automate a lot of your things in your life using an A10. So it's a very powerful tool, but then it's kind of expensive. So while expensive ones has its own advantages, it can help you create active so many things, like there can be 15 active workflows, 10,000 execution steps, and so on. But then if you are a student, or if you are a learner, or if you're just exploring N8N, then you might not want to pay for it, right? Then you might want to explore it for free. So in that case, what can you do? In that case, I'll tell you in this video how can you use N8N easily or for free. So there are two ways to use it for free. First one is using it locally. N8N is basically just an open source project which you can see on GitHub, right? If you go to github.com slash N8N ION8N, you can see the whole code base for N8N. It's an open source project, so you can run it locally, obviously. So in this video, first of all, I'm going to show you how can you run it locally, and secondly, you can deploy it, or you can self-host it as well. You can deploy it using your own hosting service, which is slightly better way, because let's say the example that I gave you in the start of the video, which is creating an automation workflow that runs every morning at 10 a.m. So if you have created it locally, you have to make sure that your laptop or your computer is running every morning at 10 a.m., which might not be feasible, because if it's not running, then your automation workflow will not run. So you have to make sure that your server is running 100% of the times, at least when the automation has to trigger. So That's why deploying it or self-hosting it, actually a better option. So in the next 3 to 4 minutes, I'm going to show you how can you use N8N locally, and after that we are going to self-host it. So let's get started with the first thing, using it locally. So all you need to do is go to nodejs.org and download Node.js. So if you prefer these steps over the video, if you just want these steps, you can comment steps markdown or steps PDF. So and I'll give you the link to this markdown or this PDF. So you have to go to nodejs.org and just go to get Node.js and then go to the long-term support and download and install it. As simple as that. First step is done and dusted. Second step is you have to open a command prompt. Just type cmd in your Windows or command, whatever, and open your command prompt and just type npx space n8n. That's it. It's not going to take too much time for me because I already have N8N installed. It might take some time for you if you're doing it for the first time. So let it happen. So once it happens, it will start the N8N server and it will run on your local host port number 5678. It's almost active. It's almost active. See, it's running. So I can go to my 5678 host and it's running. I can sign it or I sign in and I can create a new account. So it's as simple as that basically. So your step one is your first way is done. So let's minimize it. Now our second way is self-hosting N8N. This is a slightly challenging part, but then this is more rewarding as well. So in the next few minutes, we are going to quickly go over how can you do it. So if you understand the concept is very simple, right? You can either use this project, you can either use this code, or you can either use this repository or N8N locally, or you can host it somewhere on the cloud, right? You just need a hosting service. It can be anything, but today I'm going to show you on render.com, as it's very easy to create a free hosting service on this. So all you need to do is go to render.com. Okay, this is render.com. Then just sign in or create a new account. I'm going to do this whole thing step by step along with you, so make sure you follow along. Now the second step is you have to create a new and select web service. Very good. New web service using an existing image. Okay. Then basically we are going to use an existing Docker image of N8N to kind of host it, to kind of deploy it. So what you can do is you can search N8N Docker on Google, and the very first website that will come is going to be mostly this hub.docker.com, or you can directly go to this thing. The steps will be there on the description of this video. So you can directly go here, or you can just search for N8N Docker and it will appear. Right, so what you need to do is you need to click on these three dots and you have to create a Docker pull command. That's it. Okay, it doesn't matter. You don't need any credentials here and just create connect. Okay, so now you can select any paid version or any free version if you want to go with free version. Uh, I have to warn you one thing, that if you use the free version of most of the hosting providers, it's going to spin off your server. What it spin down your server, basically what it means is um, your app might not run after the period of inactivity. So for example, if you run your app right now and for 1 hour or 2 hours you don't use it or you go somewhere, it will make it inactive, in short. And whenever you make a new request to that server, it will start it quickly once again, which means there will be a significant delay. It's about 1 minute or something, 50 seconds or 1 minute. So what it means is, if you are a heavy user of N8N, so it's probably better that if you're self-hosting it, you buy something in any of the host providers, HostGator or whatever hosting. There are multiple ones. But then since this video is for free, I'll just go ahead with the free version. Environment variables, we'll come back to it later on. So for now, we'll just hit deploy web service. Okay, that's it. And it will start it will start the service. Let me create a duplicate tab so that parallelly we can create Postgres SQL server as well. Okay, so the first step is done. Step one complete. Step two is creating a Postgres database. So why do you need a Postgres database? Okay, so basically the first link that comes up is supported databases. So by default, N8N uses as SQLite to save credentials. So this is the most important part. It uses a database to save credentials, past executions, and workflows. So either you need to create an SQLite database or Postgres database so that your N8N can actually save all the credentials, past workflows, and all the data that you have in there, right? So that's why we have to create a Postgres as database as well. And meanwhile, our web service is still running, it's in progress. What we can do is we can go to this render.com once again. We can go to the dashboard and we can create another one. Once again, yeah, new. We can create a new Postgres. Okay, we have to give a name to our Postgres server. Let's give it N8N or my N8N. That should be fine. Okay, all of this should be fine. So you have to make sure the region. So if you're from India, by the way, so when you are creating this web service, you it's better to select the region, the data centers which are closer to your location. So probably something in Asia that will be faster. So I went through the this process of creating the web service so quickly that I didn't even notice this. But if you are if you still kind of if you're following along through this, it might be better to do it in South Asia or somewhere. So it's fine. For now, we'll just go with the West US. Okay, and we'll click the free one once again, and we'll just okay. And N8N nightly is live. We'll just create another database as well. So now this since this service is live, what you can see here is it will open the N8N. However, now if you just try to create an email, oh sorry, create an account here, it will error out. It will not work. Why? Because your N8N, first of all, as I told you, it needs some database to save credentials and all as well, right? It needs a lot of things. So it needs environment variables to work. It needs to know what's your host, what's your encryption key. So what I want you to do is now this is an important step. Now what I want you to do is go to go to this dashboard. Okay, go to the N8 and nightly or whatever, whichever ones you use. Then go to environment. In the environment variable, you can you can either create environment variables one by one, or you can directly import it from an env file. So if you're doing it from an env file, you can directly copy and paste this whole thing here. uh, but so let me know if you want this whole thing. I can just paste it in the comments or whatever. Otherwise, I'll add it one by one just for you. So first is N8N port. So our N8N is running on 5678. You can actually see it from, let me duplicate the tab. Let me go back to our N8N nightly. Okay, should be able to see it somewhere. Anyways, I know it, so just take my word on it. So it's fine. Ah, it's here. Localhost 5678. See? So all you need to do is add the port 5678. Another one, protocol, N8N protocol is going to be HTTPS. Another one, N8N host is going to be this host. Let's go back. This is the primary URL, right? Where do we have that? Uh, 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 we had that somewhere. Okay, yeah, this is going to be our host. Okay, we don't need to provide HTTPS here. That's fine. Okay, so If you need any logs, log level can be info. Another one can be, so all what all environment variables do you need? You can see all of this here. I'll provide the link to this documentation in the description. You can go through it if you want. Deployment and environment variables. Basically, you you can read through this whole documentation and you can figure out what all are the most essential environments that you need to use. For example, N8N port is required, N8N protocol, HTTP or HTTPS, all these things. You can figure out which ones do you want to use in database when you want to connect it to a database, for example, Postgres, and so on, right? So for now, I'm just going to give you directly of what all I kind of use. N8 an encryption key. If you want to add, you can just create your own encryption key. Go to Google and say create encryption key. Uh, uh, um, just a second. So you can go to any website, any random website, and you can just create a new encryption key. Okay, and click to copy, and you can copy it. Perfect. Next environment variable can be N8N runners. It should be true. Okay, so next thing is going to be our webhook URL. In this webhook URL, again, we need to provide the link to our deployed service. That's it. Another one is going to be payload size. Let's keep it 16. I think this is optional. You don't need this. You can create an endpoint webhook URLs is going to be slash webhook. All of this is available in this documentation, right? So you don't need to be confused on. You also can read about why all this is required, right? So I'm not spending too much time on this, but if you have any doubts, let me know. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll explain. I can create a new video on to explain you why all these things are required. So now comes the database part. So now what you need to do is now you need to go to this database tab, and then you need to scroll down a little, and you can find your connections here. If you are not able to find it, it's okay. Go to dashboards, go to my N8N database, PostgreSQL, okay, and then scroll down a little and you can find all the connection, all of this, right? Okay, perfect. Now, what you need to do is you need you need to also add another query parameter, which is going to be SSL mode required equal to true. Okay, SSL mode equal to require. That's it. Okay, now another variable, PostgreDB host. PostgreDB host is going to be your database host. Your database host is hostname. Okay, another one is going to be your PostgreDB password. PostgreDB password. This is the password. You can directly copy and paste it from here. Another variable is going to be your user. That's it. We are almost there. The username is going to be my N8N user. And final thing is your Postgres SQL port. Port is going to be 5432. Perfect. And that is done. And one final thing is you should also provide your node environment as production because it's going to run in production now. And that's it. Hit the save and deploy and this should work. As soon as this is deployed, now you can go to your events and you can see what's the process. Okay, so now if you go to this link, it works. You can quickly create your own account, okay? And once you hit the next button, it's going to work. And once again, if you want to see how to create some really cool projects using N8N, some really cool automations using N8N, you can go to my channel, youtube.com/the lean programmer, and you can find some very cool projects there. So that's it for today. See you in the next video next week. Stay tuned for my new videos every Saturday. See you next time. Bye bye.